Welcome to Formnext 2024 and welcome to our last session here on Industry Stage, our after-work talks, or we can say after-show talks, because that's the last session we will have here. Time runs fast. Now the Formnext is nearly over and we are looking into exhausted faces, but they are smiling. Here with me on stage is Petra Haarburger, she's president of Mesago. Sascha Wenzler, vice president Formnext. Christoph Stüker, also vice president Formnext. Congratulations, Christoph.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Sven Krause, my beloved co-host here. President of the stage.
Wonderful.
Let's say president of the stage of Industry Stage in Hall 11D72. Yeah. Before I want to know about your feelings and your highlights and what is driving you or what has driven you to the stage the rest of the week. We have prepared for you some highlights from the fairground. We had some, we wanted to know from the visitors why they are here, because we are doing everything what we are doing here is for the people coming and looking for technology. And so we had a look at the visitors and let's have a look.
That's my first time at Formnext, and I'm having a good time. We can always see like nanotechnologies and all the things that are like, oh, those are really cool. I want to see how that works.
This is basically the forefront of what is possible. The fair is exceptional. The meeting point is perfect.
I really love the whole discussing points with the guests here.
Be able to talk, to have support, that's always for me a very important part.
I really like on the Formnext to see each other and also to see what is going on.
And even though it's a business environment, it has this flair of closeness.
Maybe I come with an own booth.
Yeah, there is shouting for Formnext 2025, but we are not there at 2025. We are still at 2024. But you see smiling faces from the visitors as well. And Petra, how are your feelings?
Well, I think it sort of summarized everything we had here during the last 4 days. And I just said, I think I have to just show how my feelings is. My voice is absolutely gone. I think for me it was all in. From everybody, also from my side. But it was so rewarding, and also looking at the feedback that we just saw, I think it just summarizes everything perfectly. I think it was rewarding for all of us to see what we worked for during the last year and what we achieved all together, and that was a great teamwork. And I think this is just cool to see that it also was received so well and that everybody really said this was the place to be and we're happy to come back. Perfect, even with an own booth, as we said.
So as a good English shot with
thanks to you
with a good portion of honey, that's always helpful.
Yeah, guys, friends, what can I say? Maybe like in the very first beginning, it's exceptional how this community cooperates, collaborates, how they communicate. We created really a home base with Formnext for the global additive manufacturing community. They feel at home here, and it starts right from a one-man show. Even some guys having not founded a company, winning the Rookie Award, and going up to the largest industry players in the field of mechanical engineering. And, all of them, they still live in a challenging time. The economics are like they are, the politics are like they are. But after this week, not only I, but we can feel a kind of positive impulse out of these halls.
Definitive an energy here, yeah.
And that's exceptional, and that's absolutely great. It's a good message towards the end of the year, and to really continue the work on AM becoming industrial, on AM becoming more and more common in.
And you saw that this is not a motto, what you makers just a wish motto, let's say. The people come to stage and say, oh yeah, I saw something industrialization here, industrialization there. We had Sven on our stage, people who said, last year there were some prototypes and I don't know, stuff so a bit funny or so, and now I go around and see, we unfortunately didn't have the chance to go around a lot, but people come here and say, I see industrialization at the booth.
But it's also, you know, Frank, a match between the smaller machinery and up to a whole range of a full process manufacturing line, because some of the challenges and questions still relate to both of them, and it needs this interaction. And I think this was even more visible this year, that it's not a separated world. It can contribute to each other, and it needs this communication and collaboration.
But I've also found, I attended a networking event by our partner country, Australia, on Wednesday. Sascha has a little pin here, the little kangaroo. And without wanting to take this away from Australia, because that's exactly their forte, they have this can-do attitude. And it's also our community, our additive manufacturing community, that has a good proportion of that. And that was, again, you could feel that on the show floor. You could feel that in our talks. We have a full book of potential partnerships, collaboration, projects. So that's our takeaway, I guess, our homework now for the next year, up until Formnext 2025. So yeah, no, it's a fantastic feeling to feel this energy on the show floor, in our talks, on the stage as well, of course. So yeah, really looking forward to the next edition, of course.
I look forward to the weekend.
Well, that's first things first.
Same here.
And you are.
We had a nice meeting before, you know. There were so it's not my expression, but I found it very nice. Now we need a kind of decompression over the weekend.
Yeah. So true. And
With Ingwer and honey.
let me quickly add, it's funny, and probably Frank can agree. As a moderator, you are kind of the thermometer of the mood of the fair, because they're all coming here, you're talking about the topics, and it's so interesting to see over the years how it develops, how it elaborates. Yeah, and I remember last year, kind of very, very bad moods from time to time, and you had to struggle a little bit. And if you see it this year, it's not longer. You don't need to be shy anymore to take the word industrialization in your mouth. That's
That's totally. That's a good point.
So the people are not afraid of saying it, that we got to this stage, and as Petra already said, it's all about collaboration, to be honest, and you as well, Sascha. If I see now, we had this morning AMI Navigator, which is, in my opinion, a fantastic initiative, which brings the different process members and stakeholders together and make a holistic offer, and that's what I think that missed in the past, basically. And
exactly. And
I couldn't be more excited for the next year, to be honest.
I always remember the manual for building the starship out of the Lego pieces. So that stuck in my mind. That was, I think, a really cool picture.
Yeah, the whole technology, the whole tool in the toolbox, it needs this collaboration effort, because it will stay a highly complex process, and it's not only one process like we know, it's many of them, and a lot of technologies involved, and and also some of the high professional talks we had, they also had a result that the projects are there. The projects, because of the economical situation, they are pending, but they are there. And now also these projects, they go more into the step, hey, let's do it, and let's re-begin the projects again. Let's start the projects pending, because you can't let them laying down forever. Now it's this push as well. So coming out of these halls, and to give you just maybe one more fact, we are running above the 33,000 visitors. So that's a slightly plus towards last year, around about 3 or 4%, which is also exceptional, in this surrounding. So it's great.
A lot of companies are not allowed to travel at these times. So then I think that are very good numbers.
That are good signals, and I think also we as business people or in general as people we need these kind of impulse platforms or hubs to take away something from us, to not only weak hearts or not only a bad throat, but we take away out something positive, I think, out of this week. And
but the good thing is, I think, everyone is so motivated. You don't need to infuse it; it's already there. Yeah. And every year here on the show floor, it just comes out of them really, and surfaces. So that's.
But not to make it too much important, but I can tell you, if you compare it to other events, Formnext is super special in my opinion, because I mean you are used to it because you are focusing on Formnext. But Petra, you mentioned SBS. I haven't been there, but I tell you, if you visit other events, this family perspective, and that's the advantage of still quite a small industry. This really helps you in difficult times, because like in a family, you get closer together and you work more together in order to reach a common goal. And this is the spirit I take with me all the time. So you come back here, it feels like coming home at Formnext, to be honest. It's really the case. And you leave like you met old friends, and now you're motivated and engaged, as you said, Sascha, to now get to work and get things done, because this is what it's all about.
And you can't plan it. So frankly open, we didn't really expected it for this year, because like you said, Sven, by the end of last year, the economical downturn really began, and it was this situation when everything was running down. So what do you expect of a show right in the middle of an economical downturn? We were really thinking, hey, will it work out? How will the mood be?
I wouldn't say we didn't expect it, but I think we were not sure, I would say.
And then suddenly after the first or second day, that's exactly this feeling here inside. It's really absolutely.
But it also shows what mindset can do. How powerful mindset is. And I think it's so much about psychology at the end. So if you always talk about bad things, you don't feel good. If you just overcome it and you're positive, then you achieve something. So I think even though my throat is bad and I'm looking forward to my bed this evening, I feel recharged somehow. So I think the batteries are recharged. I think after the weekend, we roll up the sleeves and then we start going into the next level somehow, with all the great ideas that we got as well. With partners, what you talked about, so many ideas came up. That's like we have so much homework to do, I think now, sort of sorting everything out.
A great point for maybe a little bit of a sneak outlook.
One point I wanted to make, but it's not just talk as well, because obviously we had our Formnext Awards this year for the first time.
True.
It's not just talks, and it sometimes feels a bit like we want to innovate our way out of this, and especially with young innovative companies or ideas that come to the market. So it's not just talk, it's actually doing things.
And before you come with a sneak preview, it was so crazy to see at the awards how they were excited. I mean, you can see it's a difficult times, and you get awarded, and it has a totally different meaning in such times. And I mean, when you looked at the faces, they were it was like Oscars, basically.
I know it because I sat there. It was so great to see that, the joy as well, right?
But sorry, Christoph, now into the future.
But Sven, you can continue. I'm very curious about the AI and metaverse topic. I couldn't attend your last panel discussion, and that is for me a kind of an technology or topical outlook as well. Can you share a bit? I think it was a really good panel.
The first thing is, honestly, on a last day, you do not expect too much from a panel, because everybody's tired and get together. And this panel was awesome. It was crazy because they were sharing perspectives, and this is the stage we are in. We are not like we do have solutions. It's more about sharing perspectives and at the same time expectations, and get things in the right perspective again. And it was so helpful to have somebody from outside who explained us how this really works. So this was super inspiring. It scared a lot, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. I went out super scared because with all the positive outcomes of artificial intelligence, especially for our very digital industries, there's still a lot to do in order to prevent misuse and to get the right results. Let's put it that way.
So you should watch it in our live stream recording on Formnext.
I haven't seen
but
a single presentation, but I watch them all next week. So I'm no meetings. I'm busy.
But coming to AI, you know, it's a bit like maybe AM 20 years ago or something.
Absolutely.
You know, then maybe some guys sat together talking about, oh, what's happening there, and in a couple of years we will print everything, and we need to regulate, we need to have an IP protection because it's a digital manufacturing process at the end. And now we look at AM becoming very industrial, becoming a very good tool in the toolbox. And the next step is, which is logical, that it will embed AI. And but that's a responsibility. That's the responsibility of all the players. How to also embed it in a reasonable way.
Yeah, and they both are similar because they infect all the other industry sectors. AM does this and AI does it as well. So they are really good comparable.
And one mini point I want to add here, because we really need to sometimes point out what Formnext is pushing forward. Look at sustainability. I remember we had a focus on sustainability, I think 2 years ago. Then we kept it, and this enables us to see what the progress is. And when we had our sustainability panel, it was crazy to see on which level we are compared to 2 years ago in terms of life cycle assessment. And the more our industry gets industrialized, the better we can do these LCAs and get harmonized. And then we have the arguments to push it even more forward, because you can prove it by the numbers. And sustainability, very important, is not about environment only, it's about the economics as well. So I love this the same way as AI.
Exactly,
it's so progressive.
It will stay a meta topic. It will never go away, and now it will be amended by AI, and behind AI a lot of more industrialized buzzwords like machine learning, like seamless workflows, all these things behind, and it's still a way to go. Because everybody, and that's another point maybe, or another word, it's realistic. So now the talks,
you can work with it.
The discussions are very, very realistic when I compare them even
Christoph,
to 5 years ago or 8 years ago.
Discussed it, and sometimes you get a lot of new questions, but you can answer them, and then you can work. You know, so it's just a slow downer, and then it goes up again. And I hope, I hope that sometimes things like a digital twin, they seem to be very complex. Digital twin of a product, digital twin of a process, digital twin of I think it's very complex, and AI could be helpful here to make it less complex. That's what my hope. But let's have an outlook in the direction of what's coming with Formnext next time. This morning we saw it in the morning news that we know already about the partner country next year, Christoph.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you leaked it already, so...
Right, you were.
Yes, I think it was leaked.
That's journalism. Journalism.
Investment, that's right. No, our official partner country next year will be Spain. We are in talks with 2 wonderful organizations, Adimat and also IM30 Hub, who are very strong strongly connected to the Spanish market. And we will bring a strong focus on the Spanish market here to Formnext next year. But also in the lead up to it, of course, there will be some touch points in Spain, including some tapas and wine possibly. But we're really looking forward to it. It's another.
And you need a good moderator then.
Yeah, well,
Okay, good moderator
but-
choose
Yeah.
Sven, but if you
fluent-
need a
Vamos a hablar
second class
español.
moderator, I join
Fluently
you.
Spanish speaking.
yeah, I will do the Spanish moderation.
El chefe está muy exigente.
Un, dos, tres, cuatro, cinque cervezas per
Una
favor.
cerveza, per favor. Ja. Also, ich wäre gerne.
No, but really,
I would like to join you.
Already, Spain is very strong in Formnext. With
Yeah.
I think it's the 5th place of exhibitors.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's a
that's
strong
exactly.
community.
So it's not a choice by accident.
That was answering my question, the reason why I had on lips.
Yeah. So we also saw in the last couple of years a really growth of the additive manufacturing industry, the ecosystem in Spain, the suppliers and the users, and this year Spain is the top 5th international participating country. So it absolutely makes sense to put a spotlight on Spain.
From my point of view, it was an excellent choice because we had Spain here on stage and Finland, and they already are talking about the collaboration, the working together, the groups, and so that the people behind the activities in Spain are very much focused on building the family, on letting the family grow, as you put it. And so, from my perspective, I'm very happy. I'm looking forward to getting the tapas and the red wine next year.
Yeah,
here on
I'm looking
stage.
forward to the food selection of the birthday party.
Yeah, right.
It should be according to the partner country there.
It always is.
Yeah, so that sounds really good. Yeah, I think we have a little bit time left, so I want to have a very short round about. What are you going to do next week? I had the question here on stage. Do you have in your private workshop a 3D printer? And I want to follow up that. What do you do next week with your 3D printer at home?
Actually, I don't have any, but maybe I get one. Who knows?
So we have to make an.
We always have this discussion in our office, Christoph. We should have a 3D printer.
Maybe in
Not
the
should,
Formnext
you must
office.
have one.
That would be cool, yeah.
And
Christoph, at home, no 3D printer?
No printer. No.
No, but maybe this is so typical, you know, if you have to do with it all the time, and then you don't
The
put
shoemaker
it at
has a
home.
hole in his shoes. Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah, but you know, yesterday I took my son a little bit around and my daughter together with the family, and maybe you know, I always try to inflame them about what I do or what we're doing here. So maybe the wish list for Christmas.
Okay.
There might be a printer on it, and then you know, then
So you
So
you
the
add it on their list?
Daddy is allowed to use it, right?
Yeah, that's the main thing. So I can admit, I'm not allowed to tell my brother-in-law, he will kill me, but because of the brand I'm going to buy. Because I consulted a guest on stage, Joel Telling, and asked him, what shall I start with? So I will buy one for sure. And I don't know, I think I start with something for the iPhone, because this is when I came in touch with additive manufacturing. I want to print my own cases. That was the first one. And Arno's always said, oh, forget about this, the idea is so old, but this will be my first project.
Okay. So, and we can learn from you, and you give us some tip about which printer would be good for us. I want one definitely too. So, yeah, thank you very much, you four, of being here with me the last presentation, the last session on stage, for a great week and for tons of experience, Sven. You have a job to do with me.
Thank you both.
Yeah, definitely.
your
Thanks a lot, guys. That was really cool.
But that's a very good hook. Before we close the stream, I want not only to thank you and us. I want to have the whole team on stage. And Sven, maybe you come with me in our presenter position, and the team joins us on stage. You know, when we are working here on this stage for 1 week, you know, there are a lot of people who support you, who tell you when you're doing something wrong, to give you kudos when you're not sure, or when your English is not perfect, or something else. And when I think it's the same for you. We both are doing the same. So sometimes I say, Sven, why have you done this and that? And you say, Frank, that could go another way. But if you look behind us, then you see all the people without these people, it's not possible to do a job like that. We are always standing here in the front, but behind us, these people, they are the real important ones because they make the show happen. So now we can have
Cheers. Thank you very much.
a small drink. Thank you all. Every single one of you. A lot of people are already at home, so they already moved. They went away this morning. Petra, thank you very much. And I wish a good way home to them as well. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to say that was it for some of you, because without you, the live stream doesn't work. So up behind the scene, and we need you guys. I'm so sorry. We need you behind the cameras. We need you. It's a picture behind the. Sorry, it's just a brief thank you, but otherwise we cannot go further any single step here. Yeah, so I'm waiting. Yeah, you can stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. Yeah, sure. Stay with us. I need a red light to make the closing. There is a red light. Thank you out there. Thank you, Sven, again. Thank you, Sascha. Good that you're here with. We had a week full packed with news and informations. I would just want to point out that you may follow Formnext at social media, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, Instagram. You choose your platform, but make sure to follow. If you missed anything, make sure to look at the media library at Formnext, so you can watch every single presentation here on stage. And yeah, I think, my dear audience, it was a pleasure. It was good for working with you, Sven.
Yeah, thank you as well for your interest, for your passion, for following us, and we hope we delivered a good program for you, and we are so glad to see you next year here on the stage.
So, my audience, thank you very much. We see you in 2025, Formnext here in Frankfurt, Hall 11, D72. We will be there for you. Let's keep growing together and stay tuned.
See you guys.